Bear down, Bears fans. We got conflicting reports right now in the whole Myles Garrett trade scenario. There's a lot of people out here right now talking about the Chicago Bears making a move for Myles Garrett, a move that could unload the payroll of Nate Davis, that could involve Khalil Herbert, and maybe even Dominic Robinson to make this happen, to give Dominic Robinson a fresh start. And there's a lot of rumors on Dominic Robinson, who has not seen a lot of playing time as well. We're going to break this down for you, give you kind of an update here and let you know what's going on. By the way, coming out of this bye week, Jaden Daniels does not look like he's going to play on Sunday, so this could be, and this, look, face it, this is the number one, number two draft picks. This is a big sort of deal for these teams. We're going into this first one. Jaden Daniels might not be able to make it into the game, which is going to be, it'll be underwhelming, I think, for a lot of people if it doesn't happen. But at the end of the day, let's face this. We're coming out of a bye week. Caleb Williams has started to look the part of a number one draft pick. We want to see some continuation of this. You've had 2 weeks to prepare. Really good coaches come out of this very, very ready to execute. We're going to find out. This is really going to be a testament in my mind of Matt Eberflus. Can he do what needs to be done and turn this team into a contender? And they will look like a contender in the event that they can beat a what should have been a lowly Washington Commanders team, but which has overachieved dramatically so far this year. And that's no disrespect to the talent on the team, but they've overachieved. So let's see what happens. We'll break this down. But here's the Myles Garrett news right now. There's that pretty face right there. There's Ryan Poles for you. And the Chicago Bears are more likely to sell than buy at the NFL trade deadline, except for one elite name, and that is Myles Garrett. Now, the question right now is Ryan Poles ready to make this blockbuster move? The Browns are 1-6 to start the season and just lost quarterback Deshaun Watson to an Achilles injury, something that fans cheered for, and that was kind of disgusting here. I hope that we as Chicago Bears fans are never like that. So anyway, Cleveland has already struck a deal to send Amari Cooper to Buffalo for a third and a seventh round pick. Now, trade interest turns to Myles Garrett, the 2023 Defensive Player of the Year, and it sounds as though the Bears have him on the radar. According to Sports Mockery's Eric Lambert, sources have told him that both Garrett and the Raiders pass rusher Max Crosby have general manager's attention ahead of the trade deadline. Now, we do know Max Crosby will not be coming anywhere. It looks like the Los Vegas Raiders are not interested in making that trade, so throw him out of this mix for that purpose. There could be a shocking trade. You don't know what will happen there. It could happen. But the more likely scenario now, Myles Garrett. So Chicago acquiring Garrett would instantly make them much more serious contender in the NFC. He would bring elite help to the pass rush and would take the defense to the next level. And that is true. Now, the question, of course, as we talked about yesterday, was financially, how does that fit in? It would require the salary of Nate Davis at a minimum and then a lot more. So there will be some questions about the doability of it, if you will. Doability is not a word. I know it's not, but it is for me, so that is my show. So the Bears would almost certainly need to give up a fortune to acquire Garrett from the Browns before the 2024 deadline. For example, Alex K drew up several trade proposals, and what he suggested here would be, and this makes sense, by the way, 2025 first round, 2025 second round, 2026 first round, and defensive end Darrell Taylor. Now, to me, number one, too expensive. Number two, impossible to work out in the salary cap without releasing a lot of players. And in the event that you wanted to release a player like a Nate Davis, then you're going to take a salary cap hit with dead cap space, which means that you're not saving any payroll and you still can't afford to bring in Myles Garrett. So that makes it difficult, and we're not going to pay a luxury tax. We should face that at least. So that makes it improbable right there. So then there are a couple of other things, and we have to find out what the value is for Cleveland. Cleveland's going to want something big. Garrett has a 5-year, $125 million contract that carries around the same annual value as Montez Sweat's deal. He has a cap hit of 20.6 in 2024, carries 19.7 and 20 into the next 2 seasons. Due to the Brown restructuring the contract, he will cost roughly $37 million against the cap in his void year in 2026 when he is no longer on the roster. The Bears could technically work the numbers to fit him, but it would be a headache that severely limits their ability to spend and invest in other positions of need. Now, that is a reason why you might not see this happen. And in that regard, let's now turn to, and by the way, this would be a great show of force for the Bears in this league, and it will show that the Bears mean business. But here is the problem. Adam Johns, who is fairly close to the team in this regard, is talking about this stuff as well. And he's really saying that he just does not see a path. And it looks like his opinion is standing pat feels right, though. The Bears open the 2025 draft with a first round pick and 2 in the second round. It's best to keep those picks for real investment in their trenches on both sides of the ball. And really, we go into this draft, no matter how good we are for next season, a first round draft pick is probably a potential game changer if we get it right. So it would, to me, seem like it would be more important to, and by the way, no disrespect to a Myles Garrett or any kind of hot rusher that has that edge rushing capability. They're very rare, and we need as many, we need as much as we can or as many as we can. But really, it would be my estimation that holding on to this and hoping for the development of Austin Booker continues to be the priority. Darrell Taylor doing a serviceable job. DeMarcus Walker doing a fantastic job. By the way, how proud are we of DeMarcus Walker really kind of showing out this season, having a really by the way, I'm not saying spectacular, I'm saying very solid. This defensive line is really gelling. It's really coming together, and we got a pass rush. We have a pass rush. Like, we cannot deny that this Bears defense is much improved. So if we hold on to this first round, then maybe we get some defensive line help. We still need some defensive tackles. We're not done there. We've shuffled around the offensive line, but we're still going to need some more depth there. Karan hasn't even been exposed yet. So, but then we have 2 picks in the second round. These are guys that could build this thing up for a long period of time. So Adam Johns makes a lot of sense in that this would be the next logical play. For as aggressive as fans may believe Poles is this season, he has proved to be more calculated. The storyline for Poles has been the trades that he hasn't completed. He backed out of Matthew Judon. He's also rejected trade offers for Khalil Herbert and Velus Jones Jr. And look, I know he likes Velus. Velus is not getting any playtime here. I know he likes Khalil. Khalil is at the end of a contract, not getting any playtime here. These are tools. These are tools to improve the parts that we need to improve. That depth that we think we're getting off of Khalil and Velus Jones Jr., that is perceived. Because when you take some of this apart, both of these guys are running backs, and they haven't even seen the field. They barely see the field, okay? This is the Roshan Johnson game. This is the DeAndre Swift game. Maybe we need them in case of emergency, but Ian Wheeler is already here too on the roster, and so is Travis Homer. Now you may be saying to yourself, dude, there's no way that those 2 guys are as good as Khalil Herbert and Velus Jones. Well, it's not the point that they're as good. They're serviceable backups, and Khalil is in the last year of a contract. Get some value out of Khalil Herbert in a trade, get him to a place that he wants to go, do right by him, pretend he's Justin Fields. Same thing for Velus Jones. If Velus Jones is not going to see the field, he's not going to do kick returns, not going to do punt returns, he's not going to do any kind of returns, not really seeing the field, not doing anything. Let's move on. Let's go find some people that want to trade for him, and let's trade for these guys, and let's get some help where we need the help. Simple. So, and there you have it. I don't think that this deal is going to go through. Myles Garrett probably I think it's a non-starter. I'm not sure if I were smoking the J or something that some other guy says, then I would say that there's one of the J's that are smoked. And by the way, Jay, you should stop smoking while you're driving, because that's not working out very well. Shout out to Kristen Cavallari. It looks like they've not reunited, but they're in a good space. So, hey, good shot, Jay Cutler. Anyway, you guys have a good day. I don't think this Myles Garrett, the more I look at it, the more I see it, the less enthused I am about it, although I would love to see the guy here, but I'm not really excited about it. I don't think it's really moving some needles. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for tuning in, and remember to bear down and always dump on your local Green Bay fan. We'll talk to you again very, very soon.